guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. It's from a guy. He is 47 years old. He's been married to his wife for 18 years, and he's known her for about 23, it sounds like. 3 kids, whole 9 yards. And just like a lot of marriages out there, after a long time, the sex has pretty much become non-existent. And I'm sure all the married guys watching this are probably laughing and saying, hey, welcome to the club, brother. But just like the stereotype, it's the same thing with him. And over the years, he has definitely been trying to initiate the Lovin, but it's been very difficult. She doesn't have a whole lot of interest, and when they do hook up, she has no interest in doing anything remotely in the freaky area, or even just borderline non-vanilla. So as you can imagine, he's pretty frustrated. And it reached a point in his life that he said that pretty much enough is enough. So, like a lot of guys that watch some of the stuff I do, he started watching my channel, and it sounds like other content like mine, and decided to make some changes in his life to better himself, amongst other things. And let's just say the changes he makes in his life, after a while, maybe a year and a half or so, she started to notice a difference. And all of a sudden now, she's now really trying to initiate the sex, get freaky in bed, all the stuff he ever wanted to do. One could say, well, what happened? What changed? Well, obviously, his personality changed, his confidence changed, the way he carried himself changed. He probably had putting himself first instead of her, stopped the old blue pill ways, and that probably attracted her, gained her attention. Who knows? But here's the deal. The real thing the guy did to have a big change in his attitude and confidence, personality, is the guy went down the path that I wouldn't recommend, where he was hooking up with girls left and right. In other words, cheating on his wife. And when I say cheating, I don't mean with a couple girls. I'm talking a whole lot of girls, if what he's saying is accurate. And of course, by doing that for a year and a half or so, his confidence went up. He was obviously walking with a spring in his step, feeling good about himself, and it definitely caught her attention. And according to him, she didn't notice what was going on, or she herself wasn't a cheater. And so that's where we are in this story. And he wrote me looking to know, what do I think about this? What should he do? Etc., etc., at this point in his life. Now, guys, there's 3 very important lessons in this story I want to really point out that this is very important here. Number 1, the obvious stereotype of when you get married, after a while, the sex pretty much goes kaput. Okay? In a lot of situations. And you married guys know this. Or it becomes very, very little, and certainly nothing interesting or extra fun going in the sack. I don't need to elaborate, but you guys catch my drift. That stereotype there. So for a lot of you guys that think about getting married one day and think it's going to be all as good as it was when you guys were dating, I got news for you. Unless you can definitely are the type of guy that she obviously is so attracted to and sees you as a prize, she wants to keep hooking up with you all the time. That's a stereotype. The second one, when a guy starts really working on himself, but in a positive way, and starts developing the confidence and has a whole charisma thing about him, the wife is going to notice. Okay, and she'll find herself more attracted to him and not be able to keep her hands off him. Also, at the same time, if the guy starts putting himself first and being a little indifferent, that indifference could make her nervous, like he might leave me. And when women feel uncertain about things with their guy, they will then chase their validation. And generally, when a woman is chasing a guy's validation, the guys that they want, they are more certainly willing to not only have frequent of the sex, but also be very adventurous for that guy. You all know this in the stories I tell. And last but not least, as I say all the time, don't cheat. Okay? If you're that unhappy in your marriage, just like I say about women in the stories, end it. Walk away. You can't walk away right away, but start getting things in motion instead of cheating. It just ain't cool, and I have that opinion whether guys do it or women do it. Okay, getting into the story now. He says here, hi SSM. I would like to hear your advice regarding my situation. I am 47 years old, married with 3 kids, PhD in engineering, own my business, and have an academic position in one of the universities in my country. I'm handsome and athletic, and usually my age is estimated about 10 years younger than it actually is. My wife and I have known each other since we were about 22 years old and got married at 29. Throughout our marriage, the sex was not very frequent, and there were periods of time it was scarce. Well, sounds like a typical marriage to me, brother. About 5 to 6 years ago, it stabilized on around once a week or two, and always my wife gave me the vibe it was a chore for her. BJ's and D style were out of the question. I haven't seen any signs of her cheating, and he says in parentheses, and I did look for them as I'm a suspicious guy, but you never know. Okay, just like the stereotype. There's hardly any hooking up going on, and even if it is going on, she acts like it's a chore, and certainly none of the fun stuff going on. Pretty much boring vanilla crap. And this guy obviously is trying to initiate and all this, and it obviously sounds like also this guy takes care of himself physically, and he's not getting his needs met. Throughout the years, I tried improving our sex life throughout all the blue pill BS methods, but it didn't seem to work. Around 3 years ago, I discovered RP content from different channels and all, and at a certain moment I decided, F it, I'm going to get mine. I started pumping iron and getting jacked. I opened a Tinder account with a shirtless and headless picture, and he says, I'm married, remember, with the description of a very dominant a-hole F-boy. I was amazed by the amount of women that were turned on by the idea of a dominant man that will treat them like crap. I'm not surprised. And you're at this point cheating, dude, and that ain't cool. If you're not happy, end the freaking marriage. Yes, you're going to take a hit financially. Yes, she's going to get the kids probably. Yes, she's going to get the house. But don't dishonor not just yourself, but her and the kids by doing this. Because you're not just cheating on her, you're cheating on your kids or your family. Understand that. Now, you see no evidence of her cheating, and you've been obviously thorough in trying to figure that out. Obviously you can't do this overnight, but you can get the ball rolling, talk to an attorney, figure out your options, good, bad, or ugly, and get a plan of motion. If you're not happy and needs are being met, just end it. Don't do this. This isn't cool. This makes you just as bad as all the women I talk about in the stories that they find reasons to cheat on their guy because their needs weren't being met. It goes both ways. Anyhow, he says, I was amazed by the amount of women that were turned on, blah, blah, blah. I got more matches than I could handle and started meeting women. I wouldn't call it dates because it usually was just a short coffee, and the second meet was usually sex at her place or a hotel room. I got very confident with meeting women as I understood and experienced that if you treat yourself as the prize, they would treat you as one. Yes. There are lessons from this story, guys, that we can learn from aside from don't cheat. He started getting confidence because all these women were attracted to him. He's hooking up left and right, and he realized, I treat myself like the prize. I act like the king. And it's amazing how they respond to you. It's dead on. He says women are all basically the same. And by the way, he's writing this from a different country. So this isn't just the US of A or English-speaking countries. What I talk about is all over the place. Men respond to what they respond to. Women respond to what they respond to. Doesn't make a difference what country you're in, your culture, your age, your religion. It's the same thing everywhere. Within about 2 months, I had 3 ongoing regular friendship benefits and many one-nighters. I didn't have any special feelings towards any of them. Me and one of the regulars, which was herself in an open relationship, started meeting couples. So basically I was bringing a woman, which means nothing to me, to another dude, and I was effing the other dude's wife. Ha ha. By that time, with the friends with benefits and swinging, I was effing so much it started to become boring. Yeah, anything becomes boring after, becomes so easy and no big deal. This has continued with varying intensity for about 2.5 years. Dude, you were cheating on your wife for 2.5 years, smack. You should have just ended it. Not cool. I've lost count of the amount of women I've had during that time, but 90 to 120 is a good estimate. 90 to 120, are you sure there isn't a little bit of an exaggeration here, brother? That's a lot of women. If we're looking at 2.5 years and we're looking at 120, let's do the math here. 52 weeks in a year, times 2, that's 104, then half a year. So we're looking at maybe about 1 a week. That's a lot of punani, dude. I can see why it's not a big deal to you, but if you're that unhappy, you end it. End of story. Anyhow, about 8 months ago, I noticed a change in my wife's behavior. Now, imagine that. She started initiating the sex. All of a sudden, BJ's and Doggy were back on the menu, and there were days that she initiated 3 times in a day. Monkey sex. This stabilized later to about 3 times a week. I guess a man with options radiates it. I have a hard time, I question the amount of the number you gave me. I'm being honest here, and I'm sure a lot of guys will question that number too, but okay, devil's advocate. The fact that you got away with all this without her even noticing is a freaking miracle. But okay, back to, she didn't know, a devil's advocate, she didn't notice. yeah, you're walking on sunshine, feeling like you're the freaking man. You're probably walking around like Travolta and staying alive at the end of the movie. With the confidence and not give a crap attitude, and obviously that radiated, and that she found that attractive. Or you developed a I don't give a shit attitude because you were so busy getting the sex elsewhere that you weren't, pretty much trying to get her to do it, and that may have concerned her. All of a sudden, like, why is he interested? Maybe, who knows, maybe he's going to leave me. And all of a sudden now, she's initiating, as you said, one time, multiple times a day, all the stuff that she wouldn't do, now she wants to do it. Why? Either A, the confidence, and she was finding you attractive again, or B, she was concerned, therefore, she wanted your attention and validation, and there you go. Perfect example, guys. So basically, I have great sex with the wife today, and I've been thinking maybe it's time to stop screwing around. You think? However, the thought of being dependent on the goodwill of my wife for sex depresses me, knowing she can stop the supply whenever she chooses and sending me back to a sexless life. I just don't want to be in this position again. Well, you've been in a whole lot of positions, brother, for the last 2.5 years. I'm amazed you can even walk at this point. In addition, life is short, and if today I can F 27-year-old women, probably in 5 years at 52 years old, it will be harder. It is hard for me to go back to the miserable position I was in 3 years ago. Would like to hear your thoughts regarding the matter. You really want to hear my thoughts? Stop cheating on your freaking wife and family, dude. Okay? If you weren't happy before, if she was unwilling to work with you in that area and the communication was bad and all that, then you should have ended it. Because if you were that unhappy and that unfulfilled, then end it. Again, this isn't a relationship channel, but I'm being real here. This is a men's channel. I'm trying to help you out. Because with you doing that, it's the same thing in all the videos I do when the woman doesn't feel like her needs are being met and she's unfulfilled, whatever that may be. And instead of ending with the guy, she's going to have her cake and eat it too and go cheat on him with all those dudes in town. And I give the gal hell about that, and that ain't cool. So it ain't cool for you to do the same thing. So, and remember also, you're not just cheating on her, you're cheating on your 3 little kids. Not cool. So what do I think? I think you should end it. That's what I think. Because your actions before, and something tells me you're not going to stop, you're not going to be happy. I can just tell right now you're not going to be happy because, yeah, the second you stop, I'm willing to bet you the second you stop having all those little flings going on, you're not going to appear as you were. And she'll pick up on that. She'll pick up that you're not as confident as you were, or whatever it was that suddenly caused her attraction for you to do a 180. That's going to stop, and you're going to go back right to the same situation, and you'll be tempted to cheat. And since the fact that you're obviously questioning all this speaks major volumes. So I would say, yeah, end it. Talk to an attorney, find out all your options, etc., and end it. Okay? Because she doesn't deserve this. I mean, yeah, you weren't getting all the sex, okay, but it didn't sound like in your marriage she was treating you like crap, or being a bad mother to the kids, or spending all your money, or all sorts of things like that happen in a lot of stories, and, or any other things. It just sounds like simply like it got old, which happens a lot of times in marriage. Is a stereotype right there. So if you're not happy, my man, I say walk away and end it, because you know what? You'll probably do, once a cheater, always a cheater, and you'll do the same damn thing again. It ain't cool to her. That's what I think. I think, walk away and end it. And that's it. And if you get hit in the divorce process, depending on where your country is and what the terms are, which you no doubt will, she gets the kids, she gets the house, you in a way deserve that. It's your karma. But guess what? You can start over. You own your own business. I'm sure you can start over in a small place where you live and rebuild and go from there. And at that point then, you can do whatever the hell you want to do and get all the sex you want. But it's not fair for you to have your cake and eat it too. That ain't cool. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I'm amazed, if this is true, you haven't gotten caught yet. But you stay with it, it will come out. And then you're in really deep shit in the divorce process at that point. So I say end it. So guys, like I said in the beginning of the story, certain lessons in this story. Again, like I said, with regards to how the stereotype about marriage, you're together for a long time, people become like roommates, and they're not hooking up and all that, people are unfulfilled. That stereotype for those that want to get married one day, and all you married folk know what I'm talking about. You've been through this shit, and you're all laughing at this point. Also the fact that when a man starts exhibiting confidence and feeling good about himself, making himself the prize and all that, it radiates and is attracted to women, and they will then all of a sudden can't keep their freaking hands off you. Or if they feel like all of a sudden they might lose you. All of a sudden, then they're all open to all sorts of fun stuff in the bedroom because they want your attention and validation. It's the same thing in the stories when the guys find out that their girl back in college was a total freak, and the guys got whatever they wanted with her, but the husband didn't get shit. Well, she was trying to get their attention and validation. So when a woman sees you as the prize, they want to keep you, and therefore you get the royalty treatment. And the last one, like I said, kept saying the whole thing. If you're not happy, guys, end it. Don't cheat. It ain't cool. Especially if she isn't doing anything wrong. And what I mean by wrong is cheating on you, being nasty to you, all these other things. Because he didn't mention anything about her cheating or being nasty to him. It's just simply she just lost interest in the bedroom, which happens a lot, you know. Believe me, if it would have been different, if he described her as being just this awful person and horrible to the kids and spending all his money on all these awful things, I would have told him to end it instead of cheating, but that'd be a little more understandable. But in this situation, I didn't hear that. So, lots of lessons in this story. So, bro, end the marriage, do the right thing, move on, be a good father, but just you got my point. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. There may be some of you may disagree with me. That's your business. I'm not going to take it personally, but I like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I consider myself middle of the road. I try to keep it fair here both ways. Some people may not like that, but that's who I am. That's what I'm all about. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.